to Washington, where Elizabeth Warren's meltdown over the White House ballroom has reached a new low, or high if you're us who despise her, claiming all that money could be used to feed the children instead.
This is how much money that Republicans are trying to shovel into Trump's gold-encrusted ballroom. And the cost to cover free school lunch for every public school kid in the whole state of Arkansas for a year. This is how much it would cost to cover insulin copays for every person with diabetes in Massachusetts for a year. Your tax dollars should be used to make your life better, not for some Trump gold-encrusted vanity project.
There's just one problem though, Pocahontas. May I call you Pocahontas? Because it's obvious that you're blowing smoke. The Republicans aren't shoveling tax dollars into the ballroom. In fact, let's hear it from the man himself.
Well, clearly someone forgot their listening cap at home because, newsflash, the ballroom is privately funded. Not a dime coming from taxpayers.
All of this was paid for by myself, and because I keep hearing we are making a gift of this boy. This is a gift. This is not going to be paid for by the taxpayer. This is a gift to the United States of America. And more than a gift, it's going to be one of the most beautiful buildings that's ever been built in the country or in Washington, D.C.
Elizabeth Warren says that some of this quote-unquote taxpayer money, which is privately funded, should be going to help people with insulin, right? Well, Trump RX has helped people with insulin and lowering the cost of it, right? And I know this is a sidestep to the whole ballroom thing, but Elizabeth Warren did mention that money going to the ballroom could be going to help with insulin prices or providing insulin to people who need it. And well, it's all fair play, I'd say. So we look in here, and up to 65% off for insulin Lispro, right? And also, as we all know, Trump likes to partner with people, and he's partnering with Mark Cuban, who has been historically very anti-Trump. But a good deal is a good deal, right? So they're teaming up to help lower the cost and cut out the middleman, as they say, so that people don't have to pay crazy high prices for their much-needed life-saving medication.
Mr. President, I think other than you, I've been the biggest proponent of TrumpRx.com. And the reason for that is Republicans want cheaper drugs, independents want cheaper drugs, Democrats want cheaper drugs, and together, I think we're going to do something special.
So what has Elizabeth Warren done to drive down the cost of drugs? From what I hear, allegedly, she has accepted money from pharmaceutical companies who have kept the prices high. And really, she has no basis here either to criticize Trump. So did Elizabeth Warren complain when President Obama used private funding to put a basketball court into the White House, or when President Clinton used private funding to put in a jogging track into the White House as well? I mean, I didn't hear anything about it. If you have, please let me know in the comments below. I like to see. But chances are she's only really going after this one because it has to do with President Trump. And this congressional Karen is only really going after President Trump because her TDS is at an all-time high. But what she should really be doing is taking a step back and thinking, couldn't the money that has gone to the jogging track and the basketball court been used to help a lot of the issues that were happening during the Clinton and Obama administrations? Surely there's people who needed housing that they couldn't afford, kids that needed food, people that needed medicine they couldn't afford, so on and so forth. But of course, she only complains about it because it's Trump, not because it's factual across the board. And now watch this, because the following really exposes her for the sick, demented person she truly is.
Kaylee, Elizabeth Warren, I just think about, she talks about how she would spend the money, and I hear how she would waste the money or how she would open any money up to fraud. And she talks about feeding the children. Well, you know what? Food stamps and SNAP already cost about $102 billion a year, but that's never enough for them.
Yeah, it's incredible how selective Democrats' outrage is. To your point about fraud, I don't remember Elizabeth Warren lifting a finger to do anything about the billions of dollars in fraud in states like Minnesota and California. Think about how many children she would be able to feed if taxpayer dollars in those states were actually going to the people who needed them instead of to illegal immigrants and to career criminals and to leftist activist organizations. She'd be able to feed a whole lot of people. And to that point, Democrats were in control of the entire federal government for 4 years under Joe Biden. And they did not do any of the things that she's complaining about here. They did not lower the price of insulin. They did not increase the school lunch budget. They didn't do any of those things. Instead, they raised the cost of inflation for everyday Americans and just made life worse for everyone.
And that's right. Doge has exposed billions of dollars worth of fraud, waste, and abuse in our government assistance programs like Medicare and Social Security. And with that, you think somebody like Elizabeth Warren, who's so conscientious now about where taxpayers' money is going, that you think she'd be on board with Doge. But in fact, she said this about Doge's efforts to find fraud, waste, and abuse.
Elon Musk wants everyone in America to be at the mercy of Elon Musk. We are here to fight back.
Now, I explain why the Democrats do all this, but I think the following says it better than I ever could.
So they don't have any solutions to these problems because they're actually incapable of fixing them. And it actually serves them to keep these problems on the books so that they can have things to continue to blame President Trump for, things to continue to complain about, while the problems just continue to grow worse in states where they're under Democratic governance.
Exactly. This is a classic double standard Democrat mindset. They're not interested in helping the American people. All they're interested in is criticizing Trump. And that doesn't feed anyone. But guys, let me know what you think in the comments below.